What's going on, guys? Ghast here, bringing you the latest news in Fire Emblem ROM hacking. If you're unfamiliar with Fire Emblem hacking, worry not. It's exactly like you'd expect. People from all over the place, and by all over I mean mostly North America, and by mostly North America I mean the United States, take the engine of Fire Emblem and transform it into something else entirely. New stories, characters, gameplay, the possibilities are endless. And thanks to the diligence and will to push ourselves to new heights, we continue to grow. Well, that's enough of a PSA, so let's get right into it. This month has been a little silent in terms of main project hacking, but it hasn't stopped some concept hackers and some other hackers that have been working on some more obscure projects. Starting off with the most recent game of the franchise, Vincent ASM has done what we think would be the impossible, hacking Fire Emblem Awakening. I really have no idea what's going on, but many hackers are trying to uncover the secrets of Fire Emblem Awakening, and who knows, maybe someday, Fire Emblem Awakening hacks will come to fruition. Now, for me, there's lots of confusing stuff, and for people who aren't really familiar with hacking lingo, they might be completely lost in the subject. However, Vincent ASM left a cool link that shows us the unused content in Fire Emblem Awakening, such as unused names, some portraits, and some sprites. It is pretty interesting, so you should take a look at what they're trying to do over there, if you understand the lingo. We have the technology. Kronk has been working on a rebalance hack for Radiant Dawn, one of the first Radiant Dawn hacks in the fandom, if not the first. Some proposed changes for this mod changed caps for Micaiah's Light Mage class, and Micaiah having access to dark magic when promoted. Lots of discussion has been going on what to do to rebalance Radiant Dawn, so if you thought there were some things that you wanted rebalancing, Kronk is open to all suggestions. Even if school life and work has gotten main project hackers down, there are still a few hackers who are leaving their main projects updated consistently. Here are some right now. Fire Emblem Bloodlines takes unique and ambitious steps towards character class and game design. With the integration of new animal races present in the game, players will experience Fire Emblem in ways they have never seen before. Version 1.4 is currently in the works, and I think I can have it released by mid to late summer of 2015. Version 1.4 will improve the experience of Fire Emblem Bloodlines in all cylinders, from more polished writing to more concise plot development and a couple new mechanics. The first mechanic is a unique support system that will hopefully be ready for Chapter 5, and a new gameplay mechanic, 3-way battles. No, ladies and gentlemen, this 3-way doesn't discriminate, as players will find themselves strategizing on who to strike first. Once school slows down or basically ends, I'll be excited to continue my work with 1.4, and I'm personally very excited to see what the reaction will be. Inspired by those old BSFE games and Arch's personal rating of 1001 Arabian Nights, Olympian Knights is a fan-made sequel to Fire Emblem Blazing Sword. The game follows the stories of Blazing Sword's cast between the end of Blazing Sword and the beginning of its Japanese-only follow-up, Fire Emblem Binding Blade. The story centers around several different tales which are similar to a standard Fire Emblem chapter. The main difference, however, is that each tale is completely independent. The game's core revolves around a chamber called the Hub, and in this hub, players can play and replay the 18 tales within the game. You might want to wait a bit because Arch is working on a final release coming shortly. This patch will be the final patch of Olympian Knights, and it will be containing a whopping 18 playable maps, along with a bunch of additional content. So keep your eyes peeled for Olympian Knights. If you thought Bloodlines had furries, wait till you see this. Fire Emblem Online is one of the most unique looking hacks in the fandom. First of all, its base engine is Fire Emblem 4, which is pretty obscure, but the plot is pretty interesting. Fire Emblem Online story is actually a virtual reality game within Lamia's furry world, taking place in a world similar to other media worlds such as Sword Art Online. The characters are all furries, just trying to enjoy their medieval fantasy MMORPG in their own ways as best they can, grinding and doing activities and jobs. Lamia seriously hopes that she can get Part 1, or at least the gameplay part of Part 1, done by the end of the summer. She will be pretty occupied over the summer, so hopefully she will find enough time to release something. If you want a more inside look into Fire Emblem Online, make sure to click the link in the description to an email interview between her and I discussing the development of FE4 Online. And last, but certainly not least, is Alfred Kamen's Midnight Sun. Midnight Sun is universally one of the most critically acclaimed hacks in the community. The hack is revered for its spot-on gameplay and very interesting story revolving around the Demon King. To add more fuel to the already burning fire of Midnight Sun, version 1.2 has 10 playable chapters, which is a very substantial amount to play. unlike mine, which has 5. The next version of Midnight Sun will be released mid to late 2016. And with that being said, if you're new to the hacking scene, or if you're watching a hacking video for the first time such as this, having a taste at one of those 3 hacks will definitely leave you hungry for more. People who are interested in interviews might find this interesting. I had the opportunity to interview Arch about the final developing phases of Olympian Knights, and I was also able to interview Prime Fusion during my co-commentary Let's Play with him in his final chapter of The Road to Ruin. So if you like interviews and you like Let's Playing, be sure to check out those videos as well, as they are part of the digest. Prime was able to show me some new stuff he's been working on for the hack, including mostly graphical things such as battle frames, menu palettes, basically like some just graphical upgrades to kind of freshen up the look of The Road to Ruin. Fans of The Last Promise will be pleased to hear that DH Ninja, one of the co-creators of The Last Promise, is working on The Last Promise hard mode. So far, the patch is at prologue to chapter 10, so if you played through The Last Promise and you have some suggestions, let him know in his thread. The community has seen a nice influx of new hack ideas coming out. What a concept is basically a hack in its very early stages, typically without a patch, and hopefully with screenshots. Scions of Kings is a hack by Oreo Sticks, a fellow Canadian, that is currently in the beta testing phase. The hack is proposed to be about 3 to 4 chapters long in its first public patch, and we're all looking forward to seeing how that goes. Eldon makes a return to the Fire Emblem hacking scene with an already very promising looking hack called Tides of War. Eldon has scrapped an old project last year or so, and this is already looking really nice. The interesting thing about this hack is that it uses Arch's Fire Shell ROM as a base. Basically what the Fire Shell project is a really roided out base ROM that has a bunch of ASM, a bunch of classes, a bunch of animations, basically everything you could possibly want crammed into a ROM, and that's really cool, so hopefully that gets released to the public soon as well. Eldritch Abomination returns to the Fire Emblem hacking scene as well with Maiden of Darkness, and no, it has nothing to do with Fire Emblem 6. Not a whole lot is known about this, but the story seems to be fleshed out decently well, so we'll be keeping an eye on that. Toa, the seemingly happy-go-lucky spriter, is making his way into the Fire Emblem hacking scene as well with his concept called Fate of Fire. This hack looks like it already has lots of potential with custom sprites, custom maps, and custom everything. And lastly, a hack that sprung up a couple days ago is another FE8 hack called the Sun God's Wrath. This hack is made by Blademaster, who is the creator of Corrupt Theocracy and the Sun God's Challenge. This hack looks super meta, with an even more elaborate branching promotion system in FE8 and a bunch more ASM that we don't even know about. So I think a lot of people are going to be excited for this hack, not only because it's another FE8 hack, but because it's just showing a lot of cool ASM stuff that we have never seen before. Have a project that you want to get off the ground? A concept that needs initial push? Needs some neat little event trickery for a cool chapter and mechanic in mind? Stalls for progress and needs someone to do that chapter you've been procrastinating on forever? Well, if you need any of that kind of help, why not hire the best? Arch from Olympian Knights is offering his eventing services for novice hackers to try to get their work off the ground. He'll offer project consultation, eventing and chapter construction, as well as other services. If you're interested in trying to contact him to get your hack off the ground, post in his thread and get to know the guy. He's your man. Fire Emblem Shrine, the Fire Emblem forum created by Blazer of The Last Promise, got a reskin. So if you're interested in that, and if you want to see what that looks like, you should check it out. It's looking a lot fresher, a lot cleaner, and hopefully with that upgrade, more traffic is going to go to the site. So if you haven't signed up for any forums, you now have another one to look forward to. And that's it for the first Fire Emblem Hackers Digest. If you like this video, leave a like, and be sure to check out the videos in succession to this one, including my interview with Arch, and my co-commentary Let's Play with Prime Fusion in The Road to Ruin Chapter 10. There is also an interview with that as well. So if you like interviews, check those 2 videos out, as well as my email interview with Lamia. And with that all being said, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Take care, and happy hacking.